All right, Bunny. Where did you get the name Bunny West?
Well, when I was a little girl, my mom called me Bunny. It was like her little pet name for me. And West is my grandmother's maiden name.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
How long have you been a musician for?
Let's see, I got my first guitar when I was 13. My dad took me to McCabe's, and he plays piano, and he was very adamant about me playing something that was portable. So no matter where I was, I could always play a show. So I've been pretty much playing and writing songs since then. And I'm 27 now, so however long that is.
What do your songs portray?
Well, when I first started writing, it was kind of more like an emotional thing. Like I just liked the way the chords sounded together, and I was kind of like constructing this way of that I was learning how to write songs, I guess, kind of teaching myself. And now it's a little more structured. My songs are, very personal. They're about things that I've gone through, but they're almost, I kind of build up this world around them, use colorful stories to explain what's going on and how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And then I've become more of a fan of certain styles of music that I like to incorporate into it. So I think it's kind of morphed over the past 10 years into something pretty unique to, I guess, Bunny West.
Do you feel like you're still finding yourself, like day by day with different songs that you...
I think that I'm constantly finding things that I like, and I think I'm constantly, incorporating things into the way I write and, the things I sing about, and I'm an open book. Like I'm ready at any time to be inspired by something. So I think in order to be an artist, you have to be constantly changing.
Right on. I like that. Now, so you're just inspired by something. Who are your inspirations?
Inspirations. Well, originally when I first started singing, it was like Etta James, and it was just, she was one of my favorites. I mean, her voice is out of line. It's so good. Aretha Franklin, like just old soul, and like Billie Holiday and old jazz. And I just, as far as singers were concerned, and I just wanted to sound like that, so I would do it. I would just mimic them and sing their songs at the top of my lungs, at the top of my staircase, and that was that. But when it comes to like songwriting, over the past year or so, I've been really into like Dolly Parton and kind of country and stuff like that, and Hank Williams, and I don't know, I like old country. I like just kind of an Appalachian music, just like obscure instruments and just not traditional rock and roll.
As a musician, in your time, decided that you wanted to quit? Was there like a time where you're like, you know what, I want to do something else?
Yeah. No, I don't think that. I've taken breaks. I've taken extended breaks, and I've always been really upset with myself in doing so, because I would still call myself a musician, but I wouldn't write songs, and I'm like, what am I? I felt like a big sham, and I felt totally incomplete, and I just don't feel right unless I'm playing music all the time. And I think it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around that idea that that's just it. That's just what you're doing forever, and if you don't do that, you're going to feel strange. So it's like a drug. It's like, you wake up in the morning, you take your pills, or you wake up in the morning, you have your coffee. I mean, I have to play music.
I like that. Oh. Now, are there any other instruments that you would like to play other than the guitar, or instruments that you do play?
I do wish I was, I've been playing guitar for, however long, and like, I don't really have much to show for it except for my songs. Like, I'm not technically the greatest guitar player in the world. I mean, I wish I was. I think that's super sexy when chicks can play. But, I mean, I really wish I could play the drums. Really do. I mean, I don't think there's anything hotter than a chick that can just play the shit out of the drums, and like hair everywhere. It's just like so primal, And I think I would really like to learn how to do that one day. Or even like, I don't know, maybe the banjo or the fiddle or something. Stringed.
Are there any places that you would like to play at, like either U.S. or international?
I really would love to do Europe. I just hear nothing but amazing stuff from everyone I know that's toured Europe, I mean, they just treat their artists really well and pay them what they should be paid, and novel thought, and you know, feed them and put them up and take, you know, and everybody's very grateful to have them there. And where here it's like, it's a little bit more like the artist has to be gracious and, oh, thank you for letting me play here. It's just it's a different mentality here. But I mean, I would love to do a proper South by Southwest show, and I'd love to do a proper Coachella show, and you know, it's the stuff that happens. And I mean, especially Coachella, because it's in California and it's where I'm from, and like it always happens over my birthday. So I think that would be an amazing birthday present.
That'd be so fun. Happy birthday to me. Where do you like to play? When you play?
I mean, Piano Bar is my home. I love it there. You know, I've been doing my residency there for almost 8 months now, I guess. And that place is so amazing because that's where I work out all my songs. Like for the record, that's where everything I tried out and saw what people responded to and what I liked, and I worked out forms and structures to songs that I wouldn't have been able to do had I not had that show. So I mean, I love that. I love playing the hotel, but I do want to start maybe branching out to the west side a little more. I have this stigma, anything west of Vine is just a little too far outside of my comfort zone. An extra 20 minutes. But I don't know, maybe I'll branch out over there in the next few months and start playing more once the record is coming to a close.
Yeah, so you are getting a record, having it. How is that going?
Yeah, the mixes are going to be done over the holidays, so, you know, Merry Christmas to Benny. We're kind of working on it because everybody's kind of working when they have time. You know, it's not like I've got this huge budget, and the people that are working on it, they're working on it because they believe in it and they want it to do well, but at the same time, you know, you have to work on it when you have time. So we're done tracking. We've been done with tracking for a month now, but now we just have to wait for the mixes. So the engineer, Jeff Neal, he'll be done with them hopefully after the 27th.
Ooh, I'm excited. Ooh, we're going to have like a big like CD funness extravaganza.
Yeah, I just, you know, I'm so happy with the way this record came out. I'm like so proud of it, and the songs are so good, and I mean, Sal produced it and it's amazing, and it's like the best thing I've ever been a part of, ever. It's just so good. And so I want to do it right. I don't want to just, you know, put it up on iTunes and hope for the best. I want to find the right avenue of doing that. So that's kind of where my head is at right now, or just finding the right way to market and distribute it, which is ultimately the hardest thing, I think, for any artist, because I'm an artist. I'm not like a business person. I don't that side. I need somebody else to figure out for me. I'm trying to put all the hats on, and it doesn't always work. So
yeah, I hear. How long have you been, like, for these songs? Have you been getting these songs together for this record? Like, how long does it take you? A year, 2 years, 3 years?
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah, I maybe even a year and a half. I started writing and being influenced by all these other styles when I met Sal, and Sal has been really instrumental in kind of showing me music that I wouldn't have normally found on my own, and he's just an amazing, like, I mean, I've called him an encyclopedia of music before. He just knows everything. So he initially was like, you know, you should really explore rockabilly, and I, you know, kind of got on the rockabilly train, and then I got in like, well, rockabilly comes from, you know, country and like old cowboy songs, and like that, you know, country comes from old cowboy songs, and so on and so forth. So you just find the heritage of these styles and, you know, kind of work your way through it. But yeah, in studying these styles and listening to these artists and this music, I think all around it's taken about 2 years.
2 years.
Whittle, you know, cut the fat.
Well, I'm excited. Well, I know I've heard some stuff, and it sounds
you heard
so
some
good.
stuff from the EP. We've done an EP and a record that's not out yet, but I'm very excited for it to come out.
So are you, like, you're gonna have EP and a record? So if people want one or the other, or even both,
I'm going to do one first and then the next. So I'm not sure what order yet. But they're both, I mean, the EP's super tough, and like we did that at Michael Starr's studio, a Wagon Wheel up in Burbank, and that place has such a crazy vibe. Like it just feels so good, and it's like friends, and the way the mixes are super raw, and it sounds really cool. And then the record is just really clean and, you know, super pro. Like I've never worked in a studio like Sunset before, and working at Sunset Sound was very eye-opening. I now know why people spend thousands and thousands of dollars on records, because that gear is out of control. And the studios are just, I mean, singing in a $20,000 mic every day that did not suck.
Do you feel like you're more comfortable in the studio or like playing in front of people?
I think I'm at a pretty, they're even right now. I used to just like doing shows, and the studio is super intimidating, and I think it is for a lot of artists, because everything is right up front. You can't hide, so you can't just like hide behind the great energy of a show, and you have to be on point. And I'm playing with these like amazing musicians that are like 1, 2, 3 takes, we're done, and I just needed to be able to keep up. So I mean, I think I've been recording for like 10 years, but I think that was all just in preparation for, you know, what we just did. So now in the studio, I feel like I'm the most comfortable I've ever been. And
where can people like hear you if they do want to? I know you say you play at the piano bar.
Yeah, you have to come down to Piano Bar. As of now, you got to come to Piano Bar every Monday at 10 o'clock, and you can hear me. And it's, you know, whoever's around, like Shabin has been with me from day one there, and he's an amazing guitar player, bass player, banjo, whatever he has around. And recently Jason Ace Gonzalez has been playing with me, and he's an incredible lap steel player. He plays mandolin, pretty much everything stringed. It's got some strings, he'll play it, and he's just, I'm really happy to have him around as well. And you know, Sal sometimes pops in and plays piano, and Deacon's around, he'll play drums. You know, it's just whoever is there. It's always fun. Sometimes I just play by myself.
There are musicians out there struggling, you know, starting musicians, just, you know, they get the word, or struggling. Do you have any advice to give them who are having a rough time trying to make it or find their niche of how to?
Well, it's hard, you know, and it's kind of like survival of the fittest, I suppose. You put up with as much as you're willing to put up with for the sake of doing what you want to do. And I wish that there was, you know, some magical words of advice to say this is the path, but there isn't. It's just do it. If you want to do it, and don't bitch about it. Find a way to make some money and do what it is you got to do. Like if you got to bartend, if you got to serve, if you got to be a busboy, if you got to, you know, flip burgers, to do what you got to do, you know, for what you love, you have to do that, and you have to be willing to do that. And if you're not, then you're probably not cut out for this kind of life, because it's not glamorous. It's not glamorous at all.
Hard work. Mm-hmm. You know, don't get things handed to you. Some people don't know that or realize that.
Yeah, some people do, and, you know, God bless them, but I don't want to hear their songs. I got my check from my mom last week. She pays my rent, and that's all good. I don't give a shit about those songs.
It's about working hard, and I see you do it every single time. And I really want to thank you for being a part of Crown Rebellion. You know, and we will be doing a follow-up to see how things are going.
Absolutely.
And of course, I'll be following you. And is there any last words you have to give to your listeners or your future listeners of Bunny West?
Stay tuned. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to come. We got this great video out right now. You should check it out. We did an Iron Maiden cover. Douglas Busby is an amazing videographer and filmmaker and director, and he was in the studio with us when we recorded that and caught some magic. And so you can find that online. And other than that, you know, good things are to come. So, you know, watch out for Bunny West.